And don't miss your chance to land a great deal on our 2020 models at the Nissan Bottom Line Sales Event.
Being a good father is important to me. So being diagnosed with advanced non-small cell lung cancer made me think of all the things that I wanted to teach my kids.
Another true story with Keytruda.
My doctor said I could start on Keytruda, so I did. With each scan, things just got better.
In a clinical study, Keytruda offered patients a longer life than chemotherapy, and it could be your first treatment for non-small cell.
Subscribe to me.
Hey buddy, check out the Chevy Silverado. It's got more standard cargo volume than any competitor.
Really?
Look to your left. Come, check it out.
That's a good-looking truck.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
That's a big bet.
Get $5,000.
Subscribe to me.
And we're back in live and in color Faithletic. It's Faithletic, the podcast, the hottest podcast going today. And we are live with Season 2, kicking off a brand new season, 37 episodes in Season 1. And I think there might have been a couple that were lost. So there might be close to 40.
Yeah, but we made it. We're here. Second season. We just thought fall season, new year, new fall semester's upon us.
Yes.
So why not break up our podcast a little bit?
Why not? And plus, it's almost been a year.
Yeah.
I think we launched this in, I think, October.
We sure did.
Of last year. And we've had, through changes here and there, we've had studio changes.
Yes, we have.
We've had audio changes. We have had personnel changes. But I guess I need in case you're joining us for the first time, I'm Coach. The gentleman on the screen by himself is
KC.
And then my sidekick here and our new producer is
Gunslinger.
And we are here live in your living room or your phone or your laptop or your iPad or your Android or your tablet.
Your radio? And I don't know if we have AM or FM.
I don't think we do that yet.
Frequency.
And then if you're watching us on YouTube, which would be delayed, welcome.
Welcome.
Because we're not live on YouTube. We're only live on Facebook. But if you, in fact, look, we got D. Frank in the house.
What's up, D. Frank?
D. Frank is in the house, a former call-in guest of ours. And he's always good with a question or two. And we'll get to it here in a minute, D. Frank. He's one of our longtime listeners. And if you are listening to us right now, we would love to see your comments. Because what we're going to do here, start out, is kind of recap our year. Some of the guests we've had, some of the discussions we've had over the last year. And then we're going to kind of talk about what's going on right now in sports. We wanted to do kind of a preseason college football rankings, but we may save that till next week. So some of us didn't do their homework. I wouldn't say us, but some didn't do their homework.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And let's be honest, we don't really know what the heck's going to happen.
Well, here's what I had unofficially decided to do without consulting with you guys.
Wow. I'm already angry.
See, I was prepared, sort of. So there's 3 conferences we know they're playing for sure so far. There's the Big 12, there's the ACC, and the SEC. So we decided to create a fictitious 18, or I decided, I should say, a fictitious 8-team tournament for the national title out of the 3 conferences.
Okay.
So next week, I will text you or email you or whatever you kids do these days. Tell you.
I'm all over email right now.
Are you emailing? I don't even know if I know your email address.
Out.
I don't know your new email address since you changed email addresses.
Oh, yeah.
So I probably need that. Or we could just do the group text like we have been. How's that?
Group text,
Let's do that. So 3 teams or 8 teams out of the 3 conferences, and obviously the SEC is going to have like 5 teams out of there. So you got to pick the other 3 teams from the 2 conferences. Yeah. This is how I preliminary did it, and I may decide to change my mind. I did 3 out of the Big 12, 2 out of the ACC, and 3 out of the SEC.
3.
I might be presumptuous by saying
3 is really slim on the SEC because I'd put about 6.
Well, Well, I know. That's why I'm presumptuous.
I mean, honestly.
Well, then at least one from each conference. Then after that.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They're going to own the whole thing anyway, SEC, before it's all said and done.
Yeah,
so
they are going to. It's not even going to be NCAA football anymore.
It's just going to be SEC
football.
Yeah, I would agree.
This is
all one conference, mighty conference.
I'm in on that.
Are you?
I don't know. I kind of would like to see conferences or something be a little bit autonomous, and let's not fake like these guys aren't.
Watch your mic,
amateurs. Yeah, because they're definitely should be like compensated at this point a little bit. So maybe I don't know. That's just an opinion of mine. I would say people are going to think differently than I am, but.
You're talking about players being compensated a little bit. They at least won the right to be able to use their own likeness now.
Yes.
So they'll be, well, at least the higher up in fame players will be able to.
Yeah, and it's definitely still a little nuanced in how it works, but I don't know. We're still working off of a 100-year-old system that made sense for a lot of people in the 1920s and hasn't really made a lot of changes or evolved very much. So all of that being said, like I would like to see some of these conferences become autonomous a little bit, and I think maybe you'll see that come out of this. So we'll see.
I'd like for the NCAA, at least when it comes to football, to just go away. Because they are the NCAA. I mean, let's face it. When it comes to football, they pretty much make a mess out of everything. Like, let's take it as a for instance. Remember with the whole, hey, if we need you guys to self-report if you're having issues. You know, if you've done something illegal, we want you to self-report.
Right.
Well, and then the NCAA. So the idea, at least the image that they gave was that. Well, if you self-report, then we're going to kind of let you deal with it and take care of it yourself in-house. But then the NCAA ends up just hammering everybody who self-reports anyway. So it got them right back to the thought process of, well, I'm just going to hide whatever I can from the NCAA.
Yeah.
Well, look what happened to Oklahoma State in the basketball.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they did exactly what the NCAA said it was okay to do, and they agreed to it, and then they turned around and suspended their whole program.
Yeah. I mean, it's a rigged system. And I'm not one of those people that calls foul on a lot of these things, but like to me, it is clear that the NCAA is flawed on so many levels, especially when it comes to college football and college basketball. Yeah. It's almost like they have more money than they know what to do with. And it's become corrupt. It's become a whole mess. There's no end in sight. However, the pandemic has really you're seeing some cracks where the NCAA is a little bit, and that it's not as unified as it used to be, and it's really quite an interesting thing. I think that's what you're seeing right now. It's like, you know, when something's under pressure a little bit, you know, obviously it's that refining stage. And right now the pandemic has put that on the forefront of a lot of different organizations all over the place, and the NCAA being one for sure.
Your boy Adam, our official statistician, is our chat line. So,
yes.
And a couple of things he just said. Look at the University of North Carolina scandal, and the NCAA is a joke.
It is.
So it's always been a joke, though.
And he's absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then
hopefully, old Adam comes. He might be making his way up here next week.
Oh, really?
City in your area. I don't know. There's been talk. There's been rumblings. So. I don't know if he'd be here Thursday night. Probably not. But
well, we could. I don't know how we'd work it out. I'm sure with 2 cameras we can figure something out. Maybe we bump Kyle for the night or something. Or you can bump me and I can just run controls. How's that? I don't even need to be here. I'm getting tired of being out front anyway. And then in D. Frank, as we said earlier, one of his questions is why are the Cowboys playing chicken with Dak Prescott's contract? That's because he's not worth $45 million. That's why.
Definitely not
started.
worth
You're
it.
going to get me started. I mean, I would.
It's too early for Cowboys craziness.
Well, it is, but it's not that far away. Quite frankly, D. Frank, I would prefer to just cut your ties with Prescott and go with Andy Dalton. I would prefer to do that.
Okay. We've gone a little too far.
Not really.
Wait, okay. I want you to defend that statement. You can't just say crazy things.
Adam says he could possibly make it. So we might we'll figure something out.
We'll
I do need a couple hours of a heads up to prepare for how I would arrange the set with an extra person. But trust me, it can be done.
But let's
you can't
let's
dodge
get
my
back to
question.
You
can't dodge my question.
I want an answer.
You totally
To
dodged
what?
me.
To what?
You totally me to what? You
Andy
can't just say
Dalton.
you'd rather have Andy Dalton than Dak.
You didn't ask a
Prescott.
question.
I did. I said I wanted you to defend that
Defend that
statement.
Oh, you want me to defend it?
Yeah, I do because
Look at Dak
that's crazy.
Prescott's track record. He has yet to
Tony
take a game
Romo.
in the
Tony
last few
Romo.
minutes and win the game. He
Oh
has
my
yet to do
gosh.
it.
No.
Yet to do it.
He's won as many playoff games
Adam,
as
you're
Tony
Cowboy-
Romo.
you're
Oh, no, that's
Cowboy-
not true because he has won 0 playoff games and Romo won at least 3.
Oh,
So there we
okay.
go.
Yeah, but
Sorry.
he's only been here for.
And if he'd had half a coaching staff, he would have probably won a Super Bowl. And there isn't. And
Oh goodness.
Well, I'm glad we lasted one season as a podcast. I'm out of here.
yeah, whatever. You guys are trying to stir the pot on here.
No,
I'm going to
not.
stay grounded, okay?
I'm not.
I've always maintained all along that Romo was not Romo's fault. In fact, if you'd let Romo call the plays from under center most of the game, they probably would have won at least another game or two each year instead of having to go down the wire and lost. And even Kobe Daniels last week, by the way, was on our show if you missed it.
He was awesome.
Famous Oklahoma City radio personality was a guest on our show. And when I told him that they had lost 27 games in the fourth quarter where they were ahead or tied, it floored him. He couldn't believe it.
Okay, let's scratch this.
Why?
Is it still a Dak Prescott versus Andy Dalton thing that you said?
Yeah.
That I just want to press upon a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think that's a little bit crazy talk because we haven't seen Dak, and Adam just said it perfectly. We haven't seen Dak without a Jason Garrett led coaching staff.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
I just want to make sure because Andy Dalton.
But you can't hold that against Romo for not winning either.
I'm not
because he had the same coaching staff.
100% out in the board.
Okay, all right.
I'm 100%
All right.
on board with the Romo.
We're definitely gonna fight if you start going after my boy Romo.
Romo's my
okay.
man. I love
okay. All right. Okay. Well, no, wait. That's not entirely true.
I love Tony Romo.
You're my homies. Your boy.
Oh yeah, but I mean,
I love Tony Romo as an announcer.
He's really good.
he's the
But,
best.
But it proves how smart he was on the football player. Oh, you're not paying
He
attention.
got some clout when he
You're not paying attention if you don't think he was a football player.
He got some
He was
clout in my
alright.
book when he started dating Carrie Underwood. So
Yeah, for a minute.
it didn't work out.
Wait, you
For
mean
a
Jessica
minute.
Simpson?
And just he had both.
Oh.
He had Carrie first,
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
He did.
and Carrie said, "Ah."
That's major. That's major clout for sure.
But Romo had the wherewithal to kick her out of his car when she said, "Let me out of the car," and he goes, "Okay, get out." Stop the car and let her out.
Okay.
So anyway,
So I will say this: I got called out by Adam. I didn't love Romo's first game or first couple games, and then the more I listened to him, he's the best.
he is good.
Absolutely the
as
best.
far as calling the game,
So
yeah.
I was admittedly like about Romo, but he's my favorite announcer on TV right now. 100%.
So to go back to D. Frank's question, why are the Cowboys playing with chicken with Dak Prescott's contest? Is because he's not good enough.
No,
He's not.
he can't handle it.
He's not, and I kind of a little upset with him paying franchise tag on him. Why? I understand you don't really have any other options, but if you enter a long-term contract with him, when he was offered like $35 million for 5 years, and he wanted to do it in 4 because he wanted to renegotiate his contract, you better take it because in 4 years, if it comes out, the truth comes out, he ain't gonna get half of that.
No, and it's going to be really interesting how this goes because I don't see them. Why would they put a long-term contract on him when McCarthy hasn't played with him for a year.
Yeah.
See, that to me is like you're seeing this so often is like, some of these we've seen coaches last shorter, and so you see this quick turnaround with quarterbacks. They're like, hey, I don't really like this guy. Like Mike Vrabel with Marcus Mariota didn't like Marcus Mariota. They bring Ryan Fitzpatrick. These different coaches have different, like, it does matter, that coaching quarterback relationship 100%. And so McCarthy and Prescott may not see eye to eye, and then you're saddled with him if they do sign a long-term contract with Dak Prescott. So I think it would be a huge mistake if they did sign him. And so I think the Cowboys know that if they any good business sense, if they have it at all. So
yeah, Adam says that it's not how good he is, but how it's out of the. Oh my gosh! It's not how good he is. It's out the value of the market. He's out of value market, I guess is what he's saying. So it is kind of how good he is. It isn't how good he is. It's a out of the value of the market. So he's not worth that amount of money. Basically, what we've said all along.
He's not.
I mean, you're paying him basically a top 5 quarterback salary. Really, you're kind of close to top 3. Is he that good? He hasn't proved it. Maybe he is, maybe he isn't. But he hasn't shown me anything. I don't think he's showed anybody else that. Or Jerry would sign him.
I agree.
Jerry's never held back. Now, he might be a little frugal with it when it comes to paying that long-term agreement.
But why was he willing to give him the 5-year then?
Well, because he could stagger it over 5, and it may be on his end. It's like, well, if he is really good, then he's got another year he can hold on to him, and because at the 5th year of that contract, or actually the 4th year, there's going to be another collective bargaining agreement, and everything's going to go up. And that's why Dak doesn't want to do the 5-year, because he feels like he can renegotiate after 4 with a new collective bargaining agreement. Jerry's point is, let's lock you in long-term for a lesser amount per year, right? So he wants a 4-year 35 or a 5-year 35 a year. He's got more value out of it anyway. So you gotta it makes more sense. And then he wants $45 million a year, I think, is what he wants per year for 4 years.
I think by him offering 35 for 5 years, I think he does value him then.
He does give him value. He's just not going to give him more than that.
Let's do this. I'm going to pull up the top 10 quarterbacks.
Okay, and so is he better than?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yes or no?
Yeah, that's what we're going to do.
Right.
Hold on one second. Let me get there. I'm going. Is he better than Mitch Trubisky? Yes.
Yes.
Is he better than Baker Mayfield?
Yes.
Yep. Now?
Barely.
Absolutely.
Is he better than Josh Allen?
No.
You said okay.
I say it's close.
Okay, because Josh Allen's being ranked way below. I think that he should. Is he better than Kyler Murray?
No.
Okay. Is he better than Jared Goff?
Well, Adam doesn't think so, but I'd say yes. No, he's not. It says he's worth. Adam says is he worth more than Goff and Wentz? He is worth more than Goff and Wentz in his opinion. I don't agree with either one of those statements.
Okay, what about Jimmy Garoppolo?
Well, Jimmy Garoppolo just played in Super Bowl, so no.
So okay, and I don't agree with Adam. I think Josh Allen. He's saying he's not better than Josh Allen. I think Josh Allen's better than Dak. But I'm admittedly really high on Josh Allen because of his arm. His arm strength.
He's got a huge arm.
I don't think Dak has the arm strength that Josh Allen has.
Yeah, but Dak has the hips.
He does have the hips.
He has the ability to.
And he doesn't have the feet. So I think Josh Allen is still wildly underrated.
He's a poor man's. When Cam Newton was really good, he was a poor man's Cam Newton. Is the best way to describe it.
So is he better than Matt Ryan?
No.
Okay. Is he better? Okay, so is he better than Kirk Cousins? That's the question that I ask.
Perhaps.
Yeah.
Perhaps. Yeah. Yes, I'll say. Well, not really. I mean, you're kind of getting two guys that really haven't proved themselves. So I don't know. If I had a choice between the
Jury's
two,
out.
I'd probably go with Dak. So I'd probably say Dak's better than Kirk Cousins. If I had a choice between the two,
That's where I draw the line.
Yeah?
I'm putting him at probably a top third of the league quarterback.
I'd go that far, maybe.
So I'm putting him at 12. I think there are 11 better quarterbacks than him.
Yeah, I'd probably.
Maybe
It's
even 13.
probably. I might go along with that. Who you got above him?
So I'll take.
Well, you've obviously got Tom Brady. You got
Yeah.
Drew Brees. You've got
I got
Mahomie.
Mahomes.
Oh yeah.
I got
By
Carson.
far.
I got Carson Wentz.
Yes.
I think I understand that Carson Wentz is definitely more injury prone.
He is.
When the
Yeah, he's
man is on
fragile,
the field, he's incredible. So I got Patrick Mahomes first. I got Russell Wilson
Oh
at
yeah.
2. I got Lamar. I got Drew Brees.
Yeah.
Even now, even an old Drew Brees.
Oh, yeah.
It's Twilight. Aaron Rodgers. I got
Easily all those
Deshaun
guys.
Watson.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz.
Okay.
Matt Stafford. When healthy.
He's not as good as Matt Stafford.
You don't think Dak is better than Matt Stafford?
No.
I don't think so either. Tom Brady.
Yeah. Let's
That's
debate
an
that
easy
one.
I'll
one.
take Kirk Cousins over Dak.
I don't know.
I think I would too.
Adam says Kirk Cousins is overhyped.
Okay, let me get to Kirk
I agree. He's
Cousins' stats.
overhyped, but I still
What
think
is
I would take.
so? Let's when you're done with that, let's look and see what the top 10. Who's number 10? Who's 10? Roughly.
On this NBC Sports, Tom Brady was number 10 this year.
Oh, wow.
Well, you can't compare that one.
No.
I'd be curious to what a top 10 quarterback's being paid
Yeah.
because it ain't $45 million a year.
Right.
Not in the top 10, but 10th in the league.
He thinks that he's going to get Mahomes money. and
He's
gonna
not.
get Mahomes
That's
money.
crazy, and that's why Jerry's not going to pay him that.
No. So, but he also, like, to back up Kirk Cousins, I never thought that I would do this, but lately I have, is Kirk Cousins has become an above average game manager, which sounds like a slight, but he's had over 3,500 yards for the past 5 seasons or so.
No, he's got yards.
And last year he only had 6 interceptions. He didn't keep the Vikings out of games at all. He kept everybody in games. Yeah. So, I mean, look at the past 5 years from Kirk Cousins. Okay? 26 he had 3,600 yards last year. 4,200 the year before. 4,000, 4,900, 4,100. So since 2015 he's at over 3,500 yards every year and plus in 20 touchdowns at least. The most interceptions he threw was 13 at Washington. So to me,
That's not that bad.
I don't like this idea that Kirk Cousins is overhyped. Yes, he's vanilla. He's as vanilla as they come, but I think that he gets a bad reputation.
Well, he hasn't really had any really good receivers either.
He has. With Thielen and Diggs, he's had good receivers.
Yeah, it's good, but I mean,
Not in Washington, though.
What?
He had bad wide receivers in Washington.
what's helped Prescott is and I completely escaped my mind. It's escaped me. He was a top receiver last year. It's going blank.
Diggs?
No, for Cowboys.
Oh, Amari Cooper.
Amari Cooper. And then he's going to have C.D. Lamb this year.
Yep.
So I mean, it definitely makes
It's make or break.
makes you a
this
better quarterback. Now Brady didn't need a great receiver, although he had some. He had some good H-back guys that could bail him out when he needed it, but he didn't really. That last few years, he hasn't had very good receivers, and he's still pretty good.
I just don't like the fact that I think Dak is overvaluing even himself. Which
Yes.
I think that's where it gets frustrating.
I would agree. Dak at $35 million is a bro. Sign it. Yeah, I agree.
Because if he has a really bad season, it's going to drop. He's going to lose probably 20% of that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
At least 20%.
I would have signed it a long time ago because he's got to realize he's not. I mean, there is clout that comes with just being the Cowboys quarterback, and I think that's maybe gotten to his head.
I think
I'd really like to know how much of that thought process and that confidence, if you will, the gutsiness to go for this mega contract is him, and how much of it is his agent being able to convince him. You know?
Well, a lot of that's their agents.
But here's the thing: the most person talked about every year after year, no matter what, doesn't matter. I mean, insert whatever year it is. The most talked about athlete in all of sports is the Cowboys quarterback.
It is.
Every single
It's been that way forever.
That's gone to Dak's head, I think.
Well, most of them have been celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, the only one that probably hasn't, I mean, that was any salt was probably Danny White.
Quincy Carter.
Well, he wasn't any good. But Meredith was what they did after their career. Staubach became a billionaire, even though he wasn't out in the limelight as much. He's more valuable than any of these other people because he had $1 billion real estate company. And that's just because of the person he was, and he worked hard at it, and he was a great leader.
Troy Aikman?
Troy's made a lot of money playing ball. I mean, he was a $100 million quarterback. He had a $100 million, $50 million contract with the Cowboys back then, was unheard of.
But now he's one of the best announcers on it.
He is. He's really good.
Too, yeah.
And then probably the second best is Romo. So some of the three best announcers in the history of pro football. Now I'm not Frank Gifford and Pat Summerall. I'm not putting them in that category.
Right.
But as far as what people think, Don Meredith, Troy Aikman,
Tony Romo. Tony Romo will end up as being the best color commentator.
Yes.
Ever.
I agree.
I know it's because it's 3 years, but he's so universally beloved by football fans.
Yep.
He does because
and he's changed the game
he's so good at talking about the inside football stuff, but making it sense to the viewer, which is so hard to do.
He dumbs it down for everybody.
Well, yeah, but he also doesn't talk to you like you're a kid, though. Either.
Yeah.
He's the best at it. So I'm fired up tonight, guys, about the NFL. It's coming. It's getting close. Chiefs said they're going to allow 22% of their fans.
22%.
16,000 fans come and watch the game.
So you can put cardboard cutouts in the seats?
The rest of them, maybe, yeah.
Are you buying one?
I'll put myself out there. I was going to be there if we weren't, but...
Well.
Maybe not.
They got the opening day game against who?
Houston Texans.
Houston, okay.
2 weeks from...
Thursday. Is it 2 from tonight?
Yeah.
Is that? Are you sure?
Yeah.
3 weeks from tonight.
3.
No, it's 2 weeks from
2
tonight.
weeks.
That would be the second, or it's third. That's the week after.
Okay, so it's the week after.
3 weeks. Oh, wait. No, that's right. Because next week is the 24th, 31st.
Yeah,
that's 3 weeks.
You're right.
Yeah, it's a week it's 2 weeks after Labor Day. In Labor Day, when is Labor Day?
Labor Day is like the 7th.
It might be the 17th that they start. I can't remember.
Is Labor Day on the 31st this year, or is it a week later?
Hold on.
I want to say it's on the 7th.
Looking, efforting. What in the heck? Keep going, y'all.
Labor Day is the 7th, so they will play on the 10th. Yeah. Yep, 10th is the opening, and then the 13th for everybody else.
Yeah, September 10th, 8:20 p.m. We get our rings. Put a banner up in the air.
You're so funny. You get your rings. So, we need to, we had a kind of a way too early NFL prediction months ago. We need to revisit that too in the coming weeks.
Oh gosh, yeah, the season's almost.
Let's see. 2 weeks from tonight, let's make that our official preseason NFL kickoff show. 2 weeks from tonight, 1 week tonight, we'll do the college football kickoff show. How's that?
That's great.
Everybody good with that?
You want to know how
I
to
don't think we're going to have college football.
Well,
yeah.
I think we are.
You know how you could make my heart skip a beat, though?
How's that?
It's getting an alert while I'm at work today, hearing that Tyreek Hill left the field with a hamstring injury.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yep, that messed me up.
Well,
a little bit.
Cowboys already lost Joe McCoy for the season.
Yeah, I saw that.
And I sent one of my Dallas Cowboy buddies. I said, "Cookie's starting to crumble. This is the stuff that I fear every year. They trade for these hyped up players, and then next thing you know, they get hurt or they get suspended or whatever." So, and then one of the Collins was in a car wreck over the week. I don't know if he was real bad or not, but he was in a car wreck. So
that's crazy.
So let's kind of recap if we can. Just what we've done in the last year. We kind of let folks know that we splintered away from Kyle and I were part of the Crossover Radio, which we're still friends with, and we have a tremendous amount of respect for Jeremy Coleman and that group over there. Ryan Abernathy, Philip Larson, that whole group over there are solid friends of mine. Been a instrumental part of Team Black mentorship over the last almost 8 years, and they extended an opportunity for me about 3 years ago, just a little less than 3 years ago. I started the show in 2017, I think October, with Crossover, which was called the OT, and then schedule changes, and Kyle and I Monday night was just getting overwhelming, and he and I kind of had this dream goal that we're gonna do our own podcast one day, and I just felt like it was an opportunity to make the move. So in October a year ago, we started this great podcast called Faithletic. So in that meantime, we've had some interesting shows down the line. What's your favorite one, Kyle?
You know what's funny is I thought about that, and I really did enjoy last week.
That was a good show
with Colby Daniels.
Yeah.
Was pretty incredible having him on here, and he's sharp as a tack.
Yep.
And I was able to say it on air, but he was one of those guys that when you move to a new place, you got to assimilate with some of the people around you, and I think that his show actually helped me a great deal. And so I really enjoyed having him. Trying to think, this is going to sound bad, but your friend that went to Harvard, Yale, one of the...
Jim Davis.
Yep. Yes.
Good Athlete Project. Great show. He's going to be on again here in a few weeks, too.
Good Athlete Project. He was incredible.
By the way,
sticks out in my mind.
Not to steal the thunder away from you, but he had the online nationals, which would never been done before, and I wanted him to come over and talk about it. He had 150, I think, that entered in that, and so kids and people around the country sent their videos. They judged each lift, and then they did an online announcement. Team Black Powerlifting won the National Open Team Championship, by the way. Yeah.
He
and recognized a lot of our people.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was just one of those guys.
Very articulate, smart.
So sharp.
Yeah.
And so I love enjoying just spending time with people like that are just sharp. So
he is
very
very gracious, humble, great show. I probably got three. I got three that I think of are probably my favorites, and it's hard to. It really is, because one of my favorite moments is having us three together for a show, because we came, where you and I kind of used the word evolved, where you and I started at the other station, or at the station, then we kind of did it in the, in this room, and then we expanded this room, and then we've got like 4 different studios, which they're different locations, like A, B, C, D. Could even call this E, whatever. And then we got this big banner, which you see part of it right now, kind of in our background as our frame or whatever. And then we brought the Gunslinger aboard, and he's actually going to be our producer once we get kind of all the bells and whistles worked out. So I think that was to me, I don't know if it was my favorite show, but it was my favorite moment in the last year of having you guys all together and bringing Josh aboard.
Yeah,
so
bringing Josh aboard was a no-brainer, because he just added just a little something extra to the show. He meshed with us.
And we have a mascot as well.
Yes.
Millie.
Never been on camera before.
Never been on camera.
One of these days.
Yes.
We're going to have her on. I'm going to figure out how to. Well, it's easy to do. Josh could probably get her on camera pretty quick, but we might lose some wires doing it, because we're kind of confined in here. But outside of that, my 3 favorite show, and I want to get your input on it because I know you haven't been here very long, Josh, but I would think probably, my wife came on and did a show with me when we did the Shelby Jones Memorial episode, and I had his sister and his best friend that he's known since he was, 15, 16 years old on our show. Just a great show, and it's actually loaded up on YouTube as well. And if you go through and scroll through, it'll say the Shelby Butch Jones Jr. Memorial Show. And then I think DG being on the show. You weren't in studio.
There, yes.
Did you get to? Were you in on the audio with that?
I was not.
Yeah, you missed for whatever reason. I don't remember, but you may have been out of town. But we have David Garrett, who one of my all-time favorite radio announcers because he called the Dallas Cowboys for like 4 years, and you have your moment with Kobe because you moved here. It was a voice you could, kind of. And when I was on the road, 100 hours a week, and the Dallas Cowboy Radio Network was all over the country, Dave Garrett was kind of my voice that I heard when I was out there.
Yep.
So every time I hear him, I go, it's Dallas Cowboy. He's only there 4 years.
Sure.
Brad Sham's probably the most well-known Dallas Cowboy announcer, but to me, Dave Garrett's voice is what I hear when I hear the Cowboys.
Sure,
so, and then I'd probably say that Kobe was definitely a big episode for us. Him agreeing to come on the show and be gracious enough because he's got 2 big podcasts and 13,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
followed me right back after the show, which is really cool.
Yeah, I did. And
sent him a message. He's super gracious.
Yep.
Shout out to Colby.
Yep. Thank you for being on our show, and we want to have him again at some point. And if I could ever figure out, maybe Josh smarter than either one of us on this technical stuff, maybe he can figure out how to do a Skype call or something and tie it into OBS. But anyway,
get there eventually.
That way we can actually, when we do these radio show or these call-in shows, we can have you can see the face. I always try to have a picture of whoever we have on the show to let people know who watch it, who they're talking to, or who's listening. So, Josh, you got a favorite moment since you've been here?
Well, I do. It actually was the first show that we did, the one where I was still just a guest. It was the first time I was a guest.
You hadn't signed your contract yet.
Right.
Yeah.
It was the Lance Armstrong
show.
Yes. Where we talked about, I think, even the Michael Jordan documentary.
Yeah.
But
Last Dance.
Really, just the way that y'all took me in and made me feel so comfortable, and it seemed like, at least in my mind, it seemed like we gelled really well at that time, and I thought to myself, gosh, I want to do this again. And it didn't take long before y'all were kind enough to allow me to keep crashing the party every week.
Yeah.
I'm going to be funny here because I don't really mean this, but I say I could make a broomstick look good. I don't really mean that, but it sounded like the right time to say it.
Hey.
But anyway,
yeah, it's been an awesome show, and here's to another year.
Yeah, I'm going to start a new season tonight. And just some of the guest stars that we've had on this show. Tyson Myers, world record holder, came and lifted.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, came and lifted. In fact, you got a chance to meet him when we were at the state championship meet.
That was another great episode, by the way.
Yeah,
that was when we interviewed Tyson.
Yep.
That was
a really good show.
Weeks after Black Lives Matter protest broke out.
And he's a police officer.
And he gave his perspective. And
oh, yeah, that's right.
Super gracious, super kind.
Yep.
I loved having
very humble guy.
Yep. So
very. That's why he's one of my really good friends, and I've known him since he was about 16 years old. So
awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one as well. If you recall, you couldn't get me to shut up.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's right.
I just had question after question for him. That was a treat.
That was a great episode.
Yeah,
was.
So,
and then we had Austin Spangler on the A Train
last week, right?
2 weeks ago. Fresh off his new American record. Actually, he had 4 of them. He set 12 American records, but each one preceded the other. Preceded?
Preceded.
Whatever the word is.
We're not linguists.
But he started, every lift he had set a record, and he just broke another one, and in the end, he gets credit for 4 of them. So, and just a humble, 15 years old, just loves the Lord, and just a great testimony, and quite frankly, you and I were talking before the show. I was a little concerned with him publicly because he kind of comes off very shy at times.
Right.
Yet he handled that like he'd been doing it.
He's a champ.
He did.
Yep.
I was impressed.
And he is a champ. He's a champ.
He is the champ.
Record holder.
I hope he gets to, the football season starting in a couple. When's that big Mustang Yukon game? Do you know? So season opener?
Usually the first or second game.
Yeah, I think it's the first game.
But
I hope I get to go. You got any juice there?
No.
Okay, well, just asking.
I have juice for myself.
I see.
Because I am a coach within the Mustang School District.
Well, there you go.
If you didn't know.
We do now.
Some people might not know that, actually.
Tennis and girls basketball.
Girls basketball. So
which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm really excited for girls basketball.
Yeah, I bet you are.
Yeah, I am really excited for that part, and hopefully that'll add to a little of the show. But it's also nice with the gunslinger here because I will have some Thursday night games here and there.
Yep.
I'm excited. So.
Well, I'll have a co-host and a producer at the same time.
Heck yeah.
I was an athletic trainer for 4 years of high school, 5 years of college, almost 10 years. And I go back and look at my favorite seasons, actually through junior high too. So there was, 10 years. So I had 3 really favorite seasons as I was able to be an athletic trainer. One of them was obviously the national championship at UCO in '82. And then my junior season at Enid High School, we went to the state tournament. We're the number 1 ranked team in the state. Didn't win the state championship. And then my third favorite was probably when I was trainer for the UCO women's basketball team, because one of my very favorite coaches, John Keeley, was the head coach, and actually kind of got to serve as an assistant coach because he didn't have one. And I had a good keen eye for basketball since, and
sure.
He never was officially made a coach, but he kind of called me as assistant coach from time to time because I could spot things.
Assistant to the coach?
Assistant to the assistant to the assistant. But it was one of my favorite seasons, probably third favorite season. So you're going to enjoy it.
Oh, yeah. I'm excited about that part of it. And it's cool how much life happens over the course of a year. And you think about it, this year it's been a little cray for sure, but this has also been sports therapy for us on the show, where it's just like we have an hour, talk about sports, and not worry about the rest of the world. And so that's why I love coming back every week and doing this. So
absolutely, it's a lot of fun.
Yep. We didn't even talk about, and we haven't done, or maybe we can do this in a second. We had our own segment. Week after week.
Oh,
overvalued, undervalued.
We kind of lost track of that.
We have.
We need to do that tonight.
Yeah, I think
kick off the season.
I do. I think we need to bring it back.
The return of overvalued
our money. Our money.
Have you played that with us yet?
One time.
All right.
Are we
going to start that now? Before we do that, a couple other things I'd like to mention.
Sure.
So, I found out today on Twitter that one of the Team Black members who has moved away, and he was actually on our show a couple of months ago, Dodge Salzer.
Yeah.
So he's a senior at Grinnell, Iowa High School.
Yep.
He came out today. It came out, I don't know if it came out today, but it came out this week. He is on the preseason All-State team for Iowa football.
The Hawkeyes.
Iowa State. Yeah,
Gotcha.
He is committed. He's a solid commit right now for Iowa State.
Okay.
Sorry,
gotcha.
Kyle. Which means that we may get the opportunity to see him play here in Oklahoma because he'll play Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. So I won't be pulling for the Hawkeye or the Cyclones, but I will be pulling for him.
Nice.
His dad is a former head football coach at Yukon High School, so Anyway, I want to get a shout out to Dodge, and hopefully has a great season. Hopefully they get to play. They should be one of the top 5 best teams in the state in 2A. And Iowa, they missed the playoffs last year by like half a game or whatever. So looking forward to seeing what they do down there or up there in Kyle's kind of adopted state, Iowa. So how we want to do overvalued, undervalued, or money tonight? How we want to do this? Because
how about I give the topics out tonight to both y'all?
Okay. And so we both do overvalued or undervalued?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so those that are not familiar with this segment of our show, we use, Kyle basically says a subject, a coach, a player, a food, a team, an event, a movie, something, and he says overvalued, undervalued, or money. And let's just use an example. One we used in the past is pizza.
Yeah.
Overvalued, undervalued, or money. And then both of us give us our opinion and maybe just a quick snippet on why. So we almost did a whole show with this once with Quinn Woolridge, another one of our guests in the past who head basketball coach at Bethany High School, the uncrowned state champions of 4A basketball in Oklahoma this past year. Uncrowned. All right. You're going. I'll do the first one and on it, and then I'll flip it over to him to give his overvalued, undervalued.
Sweet.
Okay. Ready? Go.
All right.
The
first one, Taco Casa.
Taco Casa is money.
Josh, have you been yet?
I haven't been.
Have you had Taco Casa?
I have not.
So I want to give you what a friend of mine said to me one time about Taco Casa. It's the Chick-fil-A of tacos.
No.
I kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
Maybe
not as quick as service.
Right.
But dead on to freshness and really good quality and portions.
Not very, it's inexpensive.
Yeah.
So
wait, not very, or
they're not very expensive.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's straight
and their
cheap.
chilada is out of this world. Do you remember the enchiladas that Taco Bell used to do? It was like a burrito wrapped up with chili sauce and stuff on it, whatever kind of red sauce with cheese.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
It makes it seem like something you would pick up at a drugstore.
I just got the comburrito, just bean and beef burrito.
Yeah.
That's how I judge. Like that's my benchmark.
Yeah.
That thing was great.
Yep.
Just efficient, decently efficient, but quality was just dynamite. So
they're really good.
Huge fan of Taco Casa.
Money, and the reason I know is because they have one in Moore, and two of my stores are kind of in that area, so I get over there about once a month. I've been here twice or once, so the only problem is right now the lines are kind of long.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. So if you want to wait 30 minutes for a taco, then go for it. It's worth the wait. So just saying. Okay.
All right.
I'll let Kyle kick this one off, Josh kick this one off.
This one is kind of silly, but it happened this week. Swinging at a 3-0 pitch.
Ooh.
Money. Money.
Swing away, know what happened.
Swing away. Yes, I know what happened.
Yes, I'll explain in a second. I don't know if Dan
since
knows.
it was the Padres.
Yes.
Is that the standard? Is the swing away on a 3-0?
No.
It's not. Take the pitch.
It's one of those unwritten rules.
That you don't take the pitch.
No, is that you take the pitch.
Yeah, agreed, Adam. Chili burger's hot. Really good. Sorry.
Especially if you're up by a ton, just take the pitch.
Yeah,
but I think that's garbage.
If you hit a
swing away,
if you hit a bomb, absolutely,
great swing.
Yeah, it's on you. Make a better pitch.
Yeah,
you shouldn't get to 3-0. That's your problem.
Exactly.
That's how I.
So what happened? Go ahead. Tell me what happened.
What happened for people that don't know? It was on Monday night, baseball drama. Fernando Tatis Jr., who has been incredible this season for the Padres, just been in fuego. Steps up to the plate against the Rangers, up 7-0. 3-0 pitch with bases loaded, and usually you're supposed to take, especially with bases loaded, because it usually means the pitcher can't find his stuff, and it's supposed to be this idea of respect, which I don't get. Like
that's baloney.
I want to beat this.
That's baloney.
I want to beat the team into oblivion. That's my goal. As like, anyway. So he was a shot and grand slam, so they win the game 11-0. Coach gets mad at him though for not taking it, and the only people that are mad are the old people. Like
because it's tradition.
The old baseball,
the tradition,
gray hairs that are like, you can't do that. I'm like, it is so much fun when you see these guys.
So just walk the guy then if you're going to do that.
That are hamming up home runs and stuff like that. Like, oh my gosh!
Just send him guy to the first base if he gets the 3-0 then.
You're supposed.
Or is it supposed to be a free strike?
You're supposed to let him find the strike.
Is that what it is?
I guess they say you should give him a free strike, bring him back in it. You know.
I'm sorry, I'm not going to think like that.
Dumb.
I'm
that's
swinging.
Like
I am swinging.
That's like people now getting mad about running up the score in football too.
Yeah,
it is.
It's just like stop him on defense.
Yeah,
baseball is a sport where if you can hit the ball 30% of the time. 30%, you're great,
yes.
Right? Which I don't know about anybody else's standards, but 30% still stinks, right? And so if you're going to give me a 3-0 count to where I pretty much know something's coming down the middle of the plate, I'm swinging.
Taking it. I don't care if it's 7-0 or not. Like that's the thing about baseball. There's no time limit. It's not like you can run out the clock or anything. It's like if I'm going to get up to the plate, I'm going to give it my all.
Right.
That makes you a good athlete. So
sure.
Don't. Like, I'm sorry.
I loved getting 3-0 counts because I knew finally you didn't have to play the guessing game so much.
Well, I was a first ball hitter, so the first pitch I saw usually was also kind of a meatball sometimes as well.
Well, they want to get a strike.
Yeah,
you know?
and so I would people didn't like the fact that I did that either, and it's like it was high school baseball. Like it doesn't. There's so many just stupid unwritten rules, and that's why like. The old baseball era kind of has to die because it just gets so annoying.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's money for me as well. Like, I love it. How about overvalued, undervalued, or money? Damian Lillard.
Well, I'll have to yield to my colleague. Defer to my colleague. I will yield my time to the gentleman from Montana or wherever.
So Damian Lillard wins the bubble MVP for the Portland Trailblazers.
Oh yeah.
Do you think that? And they play out the Lakers in the first round and won. They beat the Lakers.
Good. I'm pulling for him.
Not Josh though. Josh, how do you feel about Damian Lillard right now? Have you either watched Damian play?
I haven't seen him play, so really I shouldn't be answering it.
So neither of you. I'm sorry, that's a bad one then.
No, it's fair. I should be watching, but I'm not.
So
why don't you give us what you would say
he's
on
money.
that one?
He is maybe even a little undervalued because he's shooting from the half court just like. No problem.
Automatic.
He's incredible.
So let's call that a mulligan and give us one more.
Now I got to think of another one.
Jeez, what a.
Tell you what, we're gonna take a quick commercial timeout. I'm gonna let Kyle think about it for a second.
I'll come back with two more. How about that?
But we're gonna go and do a quick commercial and get our sponsor. Little kudos here. Once I can find it. Have to give me just a second to find it, and I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is. I found it. Okay. Let's go to. Let's see. It'd be TBM.
Yep.
There you go. Okay.
I got it ready.
All right, and we'll be back in 60 seconds.
Team Black Mentorship. Find out more about accountability, work ethic, and honesty at Team Black Mentorship. The place where champions train, the place where champions evolve. For more info, go to teamblackmentorship.com. Team Black Mentorship, where iron sharpens iron and one friend sharpens another.
And we're back just like
We're
that.
back.
So did you come up with something overvalued, undervalued, or money?
I was trying.
Oh, you didn't find anything?
I'm trying.
We need to run the commercial again.
How about the movie I Am Legend?
Oh, man.
Because Millie just reminded me of the movie I Am Legend.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long. Is that the one? Who's in that?
Will Smith.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I never saw it.
Probably overvalued.
Yeah, don't see it, Josh.
Yeah.
Okay,
Overvalued.
well, there you go.
Yeah.
Overvalued.
Bad idea.
Usually I can remember most of Will Smith's movies.
Yeah.
That could be a whole episode of my favorite Will Smith movies. I already know which one it is.
What is it?
Hitch.
Hitch is
That
awesome.
that was pretty darn good. That was pretty darn good. I enjoyed that movie.
I don't think it would have been near as what it was without Kevin James, but it was.
Agree. It was a great matchup.
We were watching Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. 2 the other day, and it just he's so funny. I mean,
I do like Kevin James.
Yeah.
He's wholesome. He's great.
King of Queens. I mean, come on.
Underrated show.
That is an underrated show.
Undervalued show.
Undervalued.
Is King of Queens.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Kevin James as a comedian, like his stand up.
Yeah, it's clean too. Most of the time.
Is actually pretty undervalued as well. So
He's really funny.
Is there anything else that I can think of?
Well, I mean, that's, you got your mulligan in, so I don't know if I would call that a real good one.
Oh.
Though. You got one?
Here we go.
Led Zeppelin 4, the album.
Money.
Oh, man, I've been rocking to Led Zeppelin 4.
Yeah, money.
Yeah,
so
I was
good.
just going to start singing that. Yep.
It is so good.
I would close that out. It wouldn't be Led Zeppelin, but I would close out the show if I could get away without getting in trouble. Would be Stairway to Heaven from Heart from the Kennedy Center. Have you heard it?
Yes. It's so good.
It's not as good as Led Zeppelin, but if there was going to be somebody you'd say that's pretty close, the Wilson sisters nailed it.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
It's pretty awesome. I got to see them in concert, actually.
I did
which is
too.
Awesome.
What year?
2008?
1980.
1980.
Whoa.
When they were rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I was 3.
Yeah, when they were probably a headliner.
I was a lower than that. Yeah.
Led Zeppelin 4, though, is so good. All of it's good.
Go ahead and keep talking for a second.
Physical Graffiti, great album too, as well. But I mean, I've been getting the let out lately, with Led Zeppelin for sure. So that's all I got for overvalued, undervalued, or money.
So Kyle, what happens? Saturday? Adam Cole, Pat McAfee.
Sunday.
Is it on Sunday?
It is on Sunday.
Okay, sorry, I thought it was Saturday.
I think it is Sunday. Usually pay-per-views are on Sunday, unless AEW is trying to go head-to-head with... Hold on. It might be Saturday. It is Saturday.
I think it is.
It's a takeover. So AEW going head-to-head with NXT. We love Pat McAfee on this show. We talk about him all the time. He's at least Josh and I, we listen to him daily. So
yes,
you hear.
I forget that he's on.
Yeah, he's on a YouTube channel.
I know,
so
but I forget about it.
He's like us. He came on the back on the show last night in NXT in Tampa, and confronted Adam Cole with his buddies in tow. AJ Hawk, who he does the show with every day. He has on McAfee and Hawk. And then he brought in former Defensive Rookie of the Year Darius Butler, with him, and then one of his buddies, Nick Moraldo. And so they showed up together to fight the Undisputed Era. Some words were exchanged. This time, Adam Cole got the better of Pat McAfee, so a little tit-for-tat action. And now we are ready to roll Saturday night in NXT. It's the only match I'm interested in, though.
And then AEW's still pretty good. I mean, they're still pretty solid, I think. You don't like it?
No, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's really good, and I think...
Are we gonna do the pay-per-view thing?
I don't think there's a pay-per-view, though, for...
It's in Bleacher Report. On Saturday the 8th?
I think we oughta.
I think we better.
Are
you in?
What is
Pay-per-view, the AEW World Championship on the line with John Moxley and MJF.
Yeah, so...
Moxley!
So... If you want to hang out with some geeks on a Saturday night, Josh.
Man, that
might make some famous popcorn.
Come on by. I'm in.
You like popcorn?
I'm in.
Yeah, I love popcorn.
How was my popcorn, Kyle?
Stupid good. You wouldn't think that it was that good. Like,
it's a meal.
There's some special.
So there's a lot of juju going on there.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
I'll show up just for the popcorn.
Yeah, I probably have to make a few batches of it.
When is this? This is Saturday the...
Which pay-per-view is this?
We're not talking...
I can't remember what they're calling it. It's that first Saturday in September, I believe. Whatever that is. Let's see, the 31st is a Monday. No. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Saturday, I think.
Okay.
Is the date.
This is All Out.
All Out, yeah.
It's All Out.
Yeah.
September 5th.
5th.
Yep.
Saturday night.
All
Start about 6 o'clock, goes to about 10, and it's pretty entertaining.
All Out's been pretty solid every year.
All their pay-per-views have been pretty good.
Yeah, their wrestling has just been
really good,
top-notch.
really good. Yep. All right, you got a Devo? You got a Devo?
Always.
Okay. I'll let you have the honors tonight, and then we need because you've only done one.
Yeah,
so you got it next week.
No, okay.
Yeah. So just for me lately, I've been in the which, by the way, just this is just almost personal for me, but if you know anybody out there by name that are teachers, that are administrators, that are support staff at any schools out there across America, they need your prayers in the biggest way. I think that we're trying to juggle a lot of things right now while we're on a tightrope. Like, it's just kind of madness. It's been really, really good for me just because I'm so excited about the chance to be within education. But if you know anybody that is a teacher, please
Yes.
pray for them. Just
when is the day of prayer? What does that start?
For our church, it starts Monday.
Okay.
So our church is putting on a 24-hour day of prayer for the schools around us, and I really would just encourage a lot of people. My wife went back to school today in Edmond, and she was wiped.
I'll bet
it was good. So just pray for safety within our schools. I have just been in a little bit of a Charles Stanley study myself. Which, how old do you think Charles Stanley is?
Oh, he's got to be 90.
Yeah, he's got to be, and he's still just so wise. And I was just reminded this morning, stay patient, and this idea of waiting on the Lord. That it just seems like a cycle of we are always in of the Lord doing something great, and then again we're just waiting on the Lord again and waiting for permission, and sometimes that can be really stressful in our walk. And I was just reminded yesterday just to keep waiting patiently, and to really, when there's this time of waiting, to really turn your focus on him, because there's times that we can really get distracted. But Charles Stanley talks about the fact that there's so many things that are trying to deter from our relationship with God, and it's just really important that we deepen our relationship with him, even in the times where we feel like he's distant, like we're waiting on him. And those strongholds, those things that are keeping us away, are idols. Anything that try to compete for our thoughts. And it's funny that we've molded sports and faith together, but so many times sports can become an idol, and it can kind of deter us from a relationship. But when it comes to waiting on the Lord, when it comes to being patient, when it comes to that time where you just feel like you want to give in, there's so much importance on continuing to wait on the Lord. And he gives a couple verses, and he reminds us of a couple of idols. First, he says some idols can be our own understanding, that we want to know and understand everything, and sometimes that's an idol for us. I think that's something for me in my walk with God that it's an idol. Is I want to know everything. A sense of security can be an idol. Our goals and dreams can become an idol. Relationships can become one.
Sure.
The past, just our focus on the past, and hobbies can all become one. And he says, remember, whatever you release to the Lord, you get more and better in return. I've seen it happen in my own life and can say with the utmost confidence that you can trust the Father completely with anything he asks for you. So open your hands and let your Heavenly Father have what you've been holding on to. When you place your complete faith and trust in him, inviting him to be at number one in your life, the blessings will flow beyond comprehension, and it'll make your time of waiting on him that much easier and more fruitful. So, great word from Mr. Charles Stanley, for
Amen.
sure.
Amen. So, been a great show, guys. This is episode 1 of season 2. All previous 37 episodes, and perhaps there might be a lost episode or two in there somewhere in my computer that I never got loaded. There was one from a few weeks ago that wasn't very audible because we had some technical issues. I didn't post that one, so I know there's at least one. But 37 official episodes of Faithletic, the podcast. In case you're curious, a little bit of sports, a little bit of faith. And, we definitely want to do a devotion almost every show we have. And I'll tell you, another one of our favorite shows was having Pastor Brian Mills on in person.
Yeah, that was a great one.
That was a great show. So we've had, thoughts and prayers to our good show, Dave Dolphin, who went through some treatments for the first time this week. So
yes. Yeah, absolutely.
want to keep him in our thoughts. And just prayers for our teachers and all those our kids that are out in this very trying time, and just ask for God's grace and blessing. Anything else anybody want to add? Gunslinger?
I'm good.
Yeah. All right, so I'll make it known that I don't own the rights to this music, and I'm not using it for resale, but I am going to play it at closing. Since we were talking about Stairway to Heaven, here we come. It's coming. Thanks for joining us on Faithletic, the podcast, next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Kyle, why don't you real quick tell us how they can find out about us?
Find us on Facebook.com. Go to the search bar, select or click on Faithletic. You can find our page there. You can also go to YouTube.com. Type in Faithletic there. Will be the first thing that pops up. Click the bell in the right-hand corner to subscribe and get updates, and you'll be able to find when our next show is posted. Like, comment, subscribe.
Absolutely.
Every week, tell your friends. We are an interactive show, so we will talk about your comments live on the air. That's what makes this show beautiful. So we are thankful for y'all.
Faithletic, the podcast. Join us next Thursday night, 8 p.m. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks for all your comments. Adam, Zach, D. Frank. Join us again next Thursday night, 8 p.m.
Love you guys. Bye-bye.
See ya.